Hey mama, this that shit that make you move mama. Get on the floor and move your booty mama.
Íslendingar konar. Sko, þetta mjög líka sérstakt mál.
I first heard before I came to Iceland that Icelandic women were beautiful and aggressive. They certainly are beautiful. It took me a while to figure out that the aggressive reputation came from being in a bar at about 2 or 3 in the morning when the bar was closing and having some extremely drunk Icelandic woman want to take you home with her. But I can't imagine that anybody's going to find somebody that drunk to be very attractive.
Get ég kaupa þér bjór eða ekki bjór eða einhvað að drekka. Ef hún segir já, þá eftir þú getur gera allt sem þú vill. Ef nei, þá beat it Bob.
I personally find them beautiful because I like their directness, their seriousness, the fact that they're responsible and hardworking, that they have very good family values and love their children and love their families. That's why I think they're beautiful, not because they have high cheekbones.
A very independent, uninhibited, and opinionated. That is a Viking woman.
Rarely I heard an Icelandic woman saying that there's pain or tired or, physically, I think they're very, very strong.
Hún rólegt, svona, ekki svona eins og rússneska kona. Hún bara alveg gera eitthvað. Til dæmis, hún getur að sitja og segja, herðu, ég ætla að mála eitthvað svona í húsinu. Ég segi, ok. Hún byrja að mála og segja, eins íslenska kona, hún segir, herðu, þú, ekki? Ég ætla að mála eitthvað. Þú átt að gera þetta.
Icelandic women are very much advanced in their way to participate in the society, to do something. Some not only home, not to stay only at home, but the activity of the Icelandic women is very high.
But I think they're really passionate. But whether passion is the same as romantic? No, it isn't.
I don't say unromantic. It's just a different way of doing it. It's more... It has a feeling, and I don't know where I'm right in saying this, but it's always like you make a choice, take it and go with it. You find me attractive, I find it good, let's do it. There's no games. It's straight in. It is direct, which is quite a good thing to be, I think.
I thought the Icelanders were very liberal sexually, and I don't mean that, they were all off shagging each other or they were all loose, but there didn't seem to be this problem. Like a friend of Ron's, she'd had a kid with this guy from the band Sigurrós, and, they weren't together anymore, but that wasn't a big deal, and they still see each other as friends, and which is strange, because, if you split up with someone, there's always that, there's always that great sort of British catchphrase, well, there's plenty more fish in the sea, but it doesn't quite work like that in Iceland, does it? Because there aren't that many people who live there, so I would have thought you're restricted by who, I don't know, maybe just work your whole way around the group of friends. Sounds quite good, actually. I quite like the idea of that.
Back in the UK, everybody says, there's so much divorce in Iceland. And I think it's just too small to have an affair. I think that's the problem. You just can't have an affair and get away with it. That's the thing.
Fegurðardrottning Íslands árið 2000, Elín Málfríður Magnúsdóttir.
There's a definite certain Icelandic look, And when you go out there a lot, first of all, you go out there and you're like, wow, there's lots and lots of beautiful people out here. And then after a while, you suddenly realise they're all very similar looking. And there's just slight variations on themes, very beautiful themes and very good looking. But again, there isn't that big diversity like we have over here, you know, big nose and this, that, here. But in Iceland, there's certain styles of look, and they're just multiplied, you know, through these different people, you know, just slight variations.
Obviously, lots of blonde hair. They love wearing small glasses. So you've got like men with short blonde hair and very, very small glasses. You can always tell them. And they always dress black. All men dress black or grey and wear small glasses. That's, you can tell them. And many women as well. Lots of women with short blonde hair and tiny, tiny glasses.
I don't know what it is exactly today, but there was a time, I remember when I first came to Iceland, when all the women were wearing kind of leopard skin spandex trousers. And then there was another time when everybody was wearing dresses over pants, which I had never seen anywhere else.
I will recognize them right away, without even hearing their speech. They are always dressed in proper way, not according to the weather.
Icelanders in general, they are extremely fashion conscious, and they dress extremely well, and they don't dress down at any time of the day. And I always wondered why, and I think it's probably because the place is so small that whenever you go in the street, you're bound to find someone who knows you. So it's very important to keep your image 24 hours a day.
Icelandic people, they're the biggest spenders I've ever seen on fashion.
They must have really expensive clothes. They must have a nice car, and it has to be a new car. There's so many new cars in Iceland.
Young guys working in a shop, 19, 18, 19, they were driving a big BMW. Wow, how can you do this?
And the young people take huge loans, get the apartments, get the clothes, get the car. It's all very important. And I see Icelanders as some of these young kids are working in 3-4 jobs during the day and the evening just to keep that lifestyle. So obviously it is very, very important.
Even with the standard we have in Denmark, to go out every Saturday, going on a restaurant and have drinks and, you know, spend 1,000 Danish. It's not many who can do that, but up there it's like normal, and it's also very young people who do it. It's like, where are the money coming from?
I know quite a few people who are just working all the time.
They need to, you know, keep up with that lifestyle.
My experience of Icelanders is they are very hard-working. They're not afraid of long hours, and all they want to do is to succeed in their task. You know, if you have to work 18 hours a day, they'll do it without any complaint and still have a smile on their face.
You know, 30 minutes for lunch. I can barely drink a cup of coffee in 30 minutes, let alone, you know, mato. I go, oh, and I'm just going, just 20 minutes, no, we're back.
Rússar að tala. Íslendingar að vinna. They kemur með skóflu og vinna.
Every single one of them, damned hard-working people.
I found the hours of working in the theatre a little strange, from 10 till 4. I think, but we would go from 10 till 6. But then I realised people would leave at 4 and probably go on to another job.
That's like, I've never seen that before. You have one job, you go home, and that's it.
And it seems to be a vicious circle, because you work a lot to acquire things, you acquire them, so you have to work a lot to keep them going. And actually, sometimes I feel that people perhaps work so much to have things, to enjoy them, and they don't get time to actually enjoy them.
I know a lot of people, I don't know a lot of people who've gone bankrupt, but I do know people who have lost their businesses, and it's probably been a lot harder to get it all back. Whereas here, I think people just go and get a new Kenneteller and, hello, and go to the bank manager, I've got a new Kenneteller, can I have some cash?
such a small population. It's got how many indigenous TV channels? 3 TV channels, numerous magazines. How can any of them make money with such a small amount of people to sell them to? There must be big donations from the government to help keep things going.
No, I wouldn't say that Iceland is a typical capitalist country. No, it is not.
It feels much more socialist.
More of a socialistic type of government?
No, social democrat, what I would say.
It struck me.
From death until rebirth, you know